Hello friends, I am Bharat. I have been teaching English for several years and I have been academic counselor at IGNOU since 2014. Currently I am teaching English at a women's college. This video is about William Shakespeare, who is known as the father of English dramas. William Shakespeare was born in 1564 at Stratford-upon-Avon. Now the name of the place is Stratford and the name of the river is Avon. That's why Shakespeare is also addressed as the Bard of Avon. So Shakespeare was born in 1564 and he died in 1616. Shakespeare worked and lived during the tenure of two English monarchs. They were Elizabeth I and James I. Shakespeare's wife was Anne Hathaway. Shakespeare's first daughter was Susanna. She was born in the year 1583 and just after 2 years, that is in 1585, twins were born to Shakespeare and they were a boy and a girl. The girl was Judith and the boy was Hamlet. Here I'd like to tell you Shakespeare's plays Hamlet, the famous tragedy, has derived its name from his son's name, that is Hamlet. The first known published work of Shakespeare is a narrative poem and the title of that poem is Venus and Adonis. This poem is dedicated to the Earl of Southampton. The Earl of Southampton was his mentor, and just after this, his another poem appeared, and that poem was The Rape of Lucrece. This poem too was dedicated to the Earl of Southampton. Shakespeare wrote altogether 37 plays and 154 sonnets. Now, the first folio of Shakespeare that appeared in the year 1623 contained only 36 plays. That play, Pericles, was omitted. And as far as his sonnets are concerned, the first 26 sonnets are dedicated to a man named as Mr. W.H. and the rest of his sonnets are dedicated to a woman known as a dark lady. So you have to remember these important things. As I'm trying my best to place all the important pieces of information about William Shakespeare. Shakespeare was the co-owner of 3 theatres. Those theatres were the Blackfriars, the Globe, and the theatre. The Globe was built in 1598, but this was burned down in 1613 during the performance of the play Henry VIII. The complete title of the play Hamlet is The Tragedy of Hamlet, Prince of Denmark. The complete title of Hamlet is The Tragedy of Hamlet, the Prince of Denmark. And the complete title of Othello is The Tragedy of Othello, the Moor of Venice. And his comedy Twelfth Night, its subtitle is What You Will. And the longest play of Shakespeare is Hamlet. And his shortest play is The Comedy of Errors. But as far as the shortest tragedy is concerned, it is Macbeth. Now here I would like to tell you that his most famous tragedies are 4: Hamlet, Macbeth, Othello, and King Lear. And in these tragedies we find that the protagonists suffer from some tragic flaw which is also known as hamartia. Macbeth's hamartia was vaulting ambition. Othello's tragic flaw was suspicion. King Lear's tragic flaw was his pride or vanity, and Hamlet's hamartia was his indecisiveness. That is to say, Hamlet was fickle-minded. Ruskin, commenting on Shakespearean tragedy, says, Shakespeare has no heroes, he has only heroines. Right? Now about some jesters or fools in Shakespeare's plays. Touchstone appears in As You Like It. Then Feste, he appears in Twelfth Night. Then Lancelot, he appears in The Merchant of Venice. Then Trinculo appears in The Tempest. And here I'd like to tell you that Holinshed's Chronicles are the main sources of Shakespearean history plays. Now about his women characters. Rosalind appears in As You Like It. Portia appears in The Merchant of Venice. Viola appears in Twelfth Night. Miranda appears in The Tempest. And Hermia appears in A Midsummer Night's Dream. And Beatrice appears in Much Ado About Nothing. Shakespeare attacks the Puritans in his famous comedy Twelfth Night. And T.S. Eliot, the famous critic and poet and dramatist, says about Hamlet that it was an artistic failure. And Charles Lamb says about King Lear that it is unactable. That is, Lear cannot be staged. That was the view of Charles Lamb. The rhyming scheme of Shakespearean sonnet is AB AB, CD CD, EF EF, GG. You must remember this rhyme scheme of Shakespeare. Matthew Arnold says about Shakespeare, others abide our question, thou art free. And Dryden says, I admire Ben Jonson, but I love Shakespeare. So I'm sure that this video will help you a lot if you are preparing for TGT, PGT examination, or if you are also going to take your SLET or NET. So thank you all for watching this video. The rest of your information you will get in my next video.